Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. You know that feeling when you're watching your favorite team and they're in a game they should absolutely 100% win only to just completely fall apart? It is the worst. Well, that's exactly what happened to the Golden State Warriors in a recent game that sent their entire fan base into a complete meltdown. Today, we're going to break down why this one loss stung so badly. Let's get into it. All right, so let's set the scene. It's December 12th. The Golden State Warriors are playing at home against the Minnesota Timberwolves. On paper, this should have been a pretty straightforward win for the Warriors, especially with their main guy, Steph Curry, back in the lineup. But as this fan on Reddit put it so perfectly, a massive night from Steph ended up being a total and complete waste. The final score was 127 to 120, a T-Wolves victory. And what makes this loss so completely baffling for fans is what you see right there at the bottom of the screen. Minnesota was playing without their best player, superstar Anthony Edwards. So how in the world did the Warriors lose a home game to a team that's missing its top scorer? And why did it hit such a raw nerve with the fans? Well, let's break it down, starting with the absolutely heroic performance that, in the end, meant nothing at all. Okay, so the reason this loss hurts so much for the fans is that Stephen Curry was just spectacular. I mean, in his big return to the court, he put the entire team on his back and dropped an incredible 39 points. A number like that should have been the headline of a big Warriors win. I mean, everything was set up perfectly for a Warriors victory. They were playing at home, they were well rested with 4 days off, and they were facing a team without its best player. Now, to be fair, the Warriors were also missing a key guy, Draymond Green, but fans felt that even without him, this was a game they absolutely, positively had to win. And that brings us to the first major source of fan anger, head coach Steve Kerr. When people started trying to figure out what went wrong, a lot of fingers pointed directly at his decisions during the game. Yeah, this comment from Reddit really captures the mood. Fans felt like they had seen this exact movie before, calling it a Kerr disaster class. And there were two key decisions in particular that had them just fuming. First off, it was Kerr's constant use of these small lineups with 3 guards on the floor at the same time. Fans have been complaining all season that these lineups are a defensive nightmare. And if you look at the data here, they kind of have a point. Check out that net rating column. That's basically just a fancy way of saying if the team scores more points than it gives up. With fewer than 3 guards, the team was a positive 6.4. Awesome. But with 3 guards, a negative 3.1. They were just flat out worse. And the other moment that drove fans absolutely crazy came late in the game. There was a super controversial foul called on Steph Curry, and Coach Kerr just decided not to use his coach's challenge. People saw it as a massive turning point and just couldn't believe he let the call stand without a fight. But look, the anger wasn't just directed at the coach. A huge amount of frustration was aimed right at the players surrounding Steph Curry, who fans felt just didn't show up to play. And a prime example of this is the team's other huge star, Klay Thompson. He's making superstar money. We're talking over $40 million a year. But in this critical game, he scored only 15 points. For fans, for that kind of money, that is just not going to cut it. And like this fan points out, it feels like it's part of a bigger problem. The feeling is that Thompson has been too passive all season, and he's not playing like that reliable number 2 guy that the team desperately needs, especially on nights when Steph is doing all the heavy lifting by himself. The criticism didn't stop with the stars either. Another major target for all this anger was the rookie guard Brandon Podziemski, or Pods, who fans saw as a real liability whenever he was on the court. And when you look at his stats from the game, you can see why fans were so upset. In 22 minutes, he only scored 2 points. And see that negative 11 there? That's his plus-minus. It means the team was outscored by 11 points while he was on the floor. So you've got all these individual problems adding up, and they all led to one single catastrophic moment. And that moment came in the 4th quarter. You know, for most of the game, even with all these problems, the Warriors were still in it. But then the bottom just completely fell out. In one disastrous stretch, the Warriors gave up a 17-0 run. Let that sink in for a second. The Timberwolves scored 17 straight points. It was a complete and total meltdown. And this quote just says it all. For the fans, this wasn't just a bad few minutes. This felt like a sign that a team calling itself a contender really lacks the focus and the mental toughness to actually be one. And that gets us to why this one loss, right in the middle of a really long season, felt so massive. This wasn't just about one game. It was about the bigger picture and what it means for the Warriors' entire season. This one loss dropped the Warriors right back to .500, 13 wins and 13 losses. Perfectly average. And for a team with championship dreams, average feels like a total disaster. And here's why that matters so much in the conference standings. As this slide shows, a win would have put them right in the mix, really close to that number 6 seed that guarantees you a spot in the playoffs. Instead, the loss dropped them a huge 3.5 games back. It was a golden opportunity that was just completely wasted. So, all of this leaves us with the one big question that Warriors fans are now debating everywhere online. After a loss like this, where even a brilliant night from Steph Curry wasn't enough, is this team, as it is right now, actually good enough to win a championship? Or is it time to make a big, franchise-altering trade? What do you think is the biggest thing holding this team back? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more. Thanks for watching.